2026 is coming. And let me be honest with you. Most people will enter 2026 as the exact same person they were in 2025. Same habits, same fears, same excuses. Only the calendar will change, their life won't. But if you're listening to this right now, something inside you wants more. You don't want to just exist next year. You want to become your best self. And here's the truth no one tells you. Becoming your best self doesn't require insane motivation. It doesn't require talent, luck, or perfect timing. It requires fixing just 3 things, only 3. And if you get these right, 2026 can completely change your life. The first thing you must understand is this: your life is not controlled by your dreams. Your life is controlled by your standards. Everyone says, I want success. Everyone says, I want confidence. Everyone says, I want a better life. But the real question is, what are you tolerating? Do you tolerate waking up late? Do you tolerate excuses? Do you tolerate giving half effort? Because whatever you tolerate becomes your lifestyle. Becoming your best self doesn't mean feeling motivated every day. It means making a decision. I will no longer accept an average version of myself. When you raise your standards, your behavior automatically changes. People say, I don't have time. The truth is, everyone has time. They just spend it on different priorities. Your best self is born the moment you choose commitment or comfort. The second thing that will transform you in 2026 is this: daily identity-based actions. Most people focus on goals, but they ignore identity. They say, I want to be successful, but they don't live like successful people live. Your best self is not built in one big moment. It is built through small decisions made every single day. When your alarm goes off and you get up, identity is built. When you finish the work, even when you're tired, identity is built. When no one is watching and you still stay disciplined, that's when your future is being written. You must ask yourself every day, if I were already my best version, what would I do right now? And then do it. Even when you don't feel like it. Because motivation is temporary, but identity is permanent. The third and most powerful shift you must make is controlling your environment. Here's a hard truth. You are not stronger than your environment. If your environment is weak, your discipline will eventually break. If you stay around people who complain, you'll start complaining. If you consume content that numbs your mind, your vision will slowly die. Becoming your best self means making hard choices. It means walking away from certain people. It means cutting off habits that feel comfortable. It means killing distractions that are silently stealing your future. This process isn't easy. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes you'll feel misunderstood. Sometimes you wonder if you are doing the right thing. But remember this, every strong version of you is created in silence. Every successful person walks alone before the world notices them. 2026 is not a magical year. There is no special moment coming to save you. The magic is not in the year. The magic is in your decision. If you raise your standards, act daily like the person you want to become, and design an environment that supports your growth, you won to recognize yourself by the end of 2026. The question is not whether 2026 will change your life. The real question is, will you finally stop waiting for the right time? Because here, as the uncomfortable truth, the right time never arrives. People who win dawn wait until they feel ready. They move first and confidence follows later. Most people keep telling themselves, I'll start when things calm down. I'll start when I have more money. I'll start when I feel motivated. But years pass and nothing changes. Not because they could change, but because they kept postponing the decision. Your best self is not created in the future. It is created in the moments when you don't feel like trying, but you try anyway. It's created when quitting feels easier than continuing, and you continue anyway. Understand this clearly. Every day you wake up, you are voting for the person you are becoming. Every habit is a vote. Every excuse is a vote. Every disciplined action is a vote. And by the end of the year, the person with the most votes wins. You don't need a massive transformation overnight. You don't need to change your entire life in 1 week. That mindset actually destroys people. What you need is consistency without drama. Wake up a little earlier, work a little harder, scroll a little less, learn a little more. Repeat this long enough. And one day you look in the mirror and realize you are no longer the person who used to struggle. Here, something most people never think about. Pain is unavoidable. You will either suffer the pain of discipline or you will suffer the pain of regret. One pain builds your future. The other destroys it silently. 12:26 will challenge you. There will be days when you doubt yourself. Days when results don't show up. Days when it feels pointless. Those days are not a sign to stop. Those days are the test, because anyone can stay consistent when life is easy, but your best self is forged when life pushes back and you refuse to break. You don't need validation from people who don't live the life you want. You don't need approval from people who fear change. When you start growing, some people will feel uncomfortable, not because you were wrong, but because your growth reminds them of what they were avoiding. So don't explain your vision. Don't argue with doubters. Don't beg for understanding. Let your results speak later. Imagine this for a moment. At the end of 12:26, you were standing there calmer, stronger, sharper. You trust yourself now. You keep promises to yourself. You don't panic under pressure. You don't run from discomfort. That version of you is not a fantasy. That version already exists. It's just waiting for you to act like it. So start now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Make the hard choice today so your future can be easier. Become disciplined now so your future can be free. 2026 will come whether you ready or not. The only thing you control is who you become by then. And if you stay consistent, if you stay uncomfortable, if you stay committed. When it is boring and hard, 12:26, just be another year. It will be the year you finally became your best self. And even after you become stronger, don't expect life to suddenly become easy. Growth does to remove challenges. It gives you the strength to face them without breaking. There will be moments in 12:26 when old habits try to pull you back. Old comfort, old excuses, old versions of you knocking on the door. That is normal. Progress is not about never falling. It is about refusing to stay down. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are sending a message to yourself. I can trust me. And self-trust is one of the most powerful forces in the world. When you trust yourself, fear loses control. Doubt becomes quiet. Confidence stops being an act. It becomes natural. Most people search for confidence in motivation videos and books and speeches, but real confidence is built in private. It is built when you do the hard thing without anyone cheering for you. Understand this clearly. Your future does take care about your intentions. It only responds to your actions. Good intentions with no action lead to the same place as no intention at all. So stop overthinking. Stop waiting for perfect clarity. Clarity comes after action, not before it. Move first. Adjust later. Your best self does need permission. It does need approval. It does need perfect conditions. It just needs you to stop negotiating with weakness. There will be days when you feel tired of trying. On those days, don't quit. Slow down, but don't stop. Consistency is not about intensity. It is about showing up, even at 60%, even at 40%. One day, people will ask you, how did you change so much? And the honest answer will be simple. I stopped lying to myself. You stopped pretending you had more time. You stopped pretending comfort was harmless. You stopped pretending discipline was punishment. You realized discipline was freedom in disguise. 2026 will reward those who are patient, those who are consistent, those who are willing to be uncomfortable longer than others. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remove the habits that are blocking who you already are. So protect your mornings. Protect your focus. Protect your energy. Because where your energy goes, your life follows. This is not about proving anything to the world. This is about keeping a promise to yourself. A promise that you will not waste another year. The past is done. The future is unwritten. But today's in your control. And if you take control of today, day after day, week after week, 2026-1, recognize the old you at all. It will only know the version who chose growth over comfort, discipline over excuses, and action over fear. That is how you become your best self. And listen carefully now, because this part matters more than motivation. At some point in 2026, you will hit a phase where nothing feels exciting anymore. No rush, no hype, no quick wins, just quiet work and slow progress. That phase is where most people disappear. Not because they failed, but because it got boring. And that is the secret. Your best self is not built in excitement. It is built in boredom. It is built when no one is clapping, when results are invisible, when effort feels one-sided. This is where discipline becomes loyalty to your future. You keep going not because it feels good, but because you made a promise to yourself. You will start noticing something strange. Things that used to feel hard will start feeling normal. Waking up early becomes routine. Saying no to distractions becomes natural. Doing the work becomes who you are. That's when transformation actually happens, quietly. You won't wake up one day and suddenly feel like a new person. Others will notice before you do. They'll say you're calmer, more focused, more confident. But inside, it will feel simple because you earned it slowly. And yes, you will lose some people along the way. Not because you became arrogant, but because growth changes your frequency. Some people only know how to connect through excuses, complaints, and comfort. When you stop feeding those things, distance happens automatically. Let it. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to respect yourself. There will also be moments when fear shows up again. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of outgrowing the old you. Don't fight it. Walk with it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement despite fear. Every time you act while scared, you expand your identity. And the version of you that once doubted everything slowly disappears by the middle of 2020. 6, if you stay consistent, you'll realize something powerful. You don't chase motivation anymore. You operate on standards. You don't ask, do I feel like doing this? You ask, is this who I am? And that single shift separates people who change temporarily from people who change permanently. At the end of 2026, you won't be proud because life became perfect. You'll be proud because you became reliable to yourself. You showed up when it was hard. You stayed disciplined when it was lonely. You stayed focused when distractions were loud. And that pride, it's unshakable because no one can take away what you built through consistency. So if you're listening to this right now, take it as a reminder not to do something extreme, but to do something consistent. One decision today, one disciplined action today, one promise kept today. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary futures. 2026 is watching. Question isn't whether the year will change. The question is whether you will show up differently. And if you do, this won't just be another motivational message you heard. This will be the moment your life quietly shifted direction.